Sal, I know you've worked with a lot of wedding planners, and some of them have been inexperienced, and it's created some interesting situations, to say the least.
Well, yes, there has been. As I play in a band, and it's time to MC, and it's time to introduce the bride and groom right after the cocktail hour. And the wedding planner's nowhere to be found, because that's the critical moment when we need to have the parents, the bridal party members, the bride and groom, everybody lined up, everybody in order. The guests are all supposed to be already seated. You know, there's times where they're still mingling and so forth. The wedding, that's her job, and that's where she needs to be there. And numerous times I've seen the planners just not be there. Like, where are they at? You know,
Taking a break.
Exactly, they're taking a break at the wrong time.
Yeah.
So, but I will say this, there are some good planners. I've worked with a lot of great planners, and there could be a need for a good planner.
Yeah, such as if a bride and groom are living in different cities from where they're holding the ceremony and reception. For example, if you grew up in Chicago and you want to have your wedding there, but you live and work in New York, this could be a good reason to hire a wedding planner. And also, if you have several guests planning to attend from out of town, you'll need to coordinate everything from hotel rooms to the transportation, to your rehearsal dinner, your ceremony and reception, and also possibly a brunch the following day. And then there could be possible favors or gift baskets for the out-of-town guests, and you may even want to coordinate some sightseeing mini excursions. That's when a wedding planner would really work for you.
Yes. And if you want to go the wedding planner route, then it would strongly be suggested to have an experienced wedding planner. Also, it's important to have your planner not to be too vendor focused, as some planners will want you to just use the vendors that they have relationships with. Keep in mind, they might not be the best fit for you. You might want to have a say in this. Now, on the other hand, if you secure a team of experienced professional vendors that are a good fit for you, then you can be confident they will know their jobs and will coordinate with all the other professional vendors to make sure your wedding runs smoothly.
Sal, there's usually a lot of vendors, and obviously there has to be a way to coordinate them all.
Sure, absolutely. Well, for the ceremony, there's usually a coordinator there to help you through the ceremony. And then when you get to the reception facility, there's usually a catering manager or somebody that can help coordinate with all the vendors. Usually maybe the DJ, the MC, the band leader will kind of MC and coordinate everything with all the other vendors. Kind of have a little mini meeting to kind of go over the agenda.
I know the band leader or the DJ will operate as your MC to manage all facets of the reception and all of the other vendors. And also delegating a family member or friend as a personal assistant to help with the day can be useful. If you're overwhelmed, you're disorganized, or you don't have any family or friends to help you, then a professional, experienced wedding planner is something to consider. Also, a day of wedding planner is an option.
Sheila, I can't emphasize enough that if you hire a wedding planner, that they are experienced and you meet with them face to face, so they're the best fit for you.
That's all very valuable information and certainly some details that brides out there might not have thought about. So let's turn now to selecting where your celebration will be held, the venue. Choosing the right venue will be a game changer for your wedding.
That is absolutely true. And so much goes into making sure that you have the proper venue to accommodate your guests and will give you the celebration that your showcase deserves. So Sheila, let's run down what to look for in a venue and what you should avoid.
Choosing the right venue, of course, will depend on how many guests you invite and the time of the year. Consider the weather if you're looking for an outdoor venue. Just keep in mind rain, hail, thunder, those can all happen. You might want to look into a weekday, a Friday, a Saturday afternoon, or a Sunday ceremony and reception. And during the months of November through March, these are all off-peak times that could allow you to negotiate a better rate for your venue and for your vendors. Also, when you're looking into venues, you need to be comfortable with the catering manager. Ask them how long they've been in that position, and also ask to meet with the chef and ask for a tasting. Lock in a contract and be specific on brands of alcohol and the pricing. Ask what time you'll have access to the ballroom to decorate. Also ask what else they offer, such as linens, chair covers, and cake. And definitely ask if there are any hidden charges and if gratuity is included. You'll also want to know what the backup plan is in the event of inclement weather, if your ceremony and reception are taking place outdoors. Now, as for the cocktail hour, you may want to use a separate space, which could be the foyer area or somewhere outside, such as a courtyard. After the cocktail hour, it's best to have everything in one room. Now, Sal and I have both been to receptions where the bar was in one room, the meal was in another room, and the dancing in yet another room. Even worse, we've seen the ceremony, the cocktail hour, and the reception all on different floors. This is just way too spread out, and there's no continuity with your guests. It also doesn't allow the entertainment to perform at their best. You also want to have your bar located close to the dance floor, knowing that your guests usually congregate there. And here are a few other things to keep in mind. Now, for your budget for alcohol, consider that your guests will drink an average of 2.5 drinks. And I want to say, Sal, that I've actually been to weddings where it's averaged 5 and sometimes 7 drinks a person. So you have to keep that in mind when you're planning a wedding. And also, do you want to serve top shelf liquor? What are your recommendations on that?
Right. Could be expensive, so you have to watch. You have to look at the bill, you have to talk to the catering manager and find out those fine details.
Yeah, these are things obviously you have to keep in mind. Another tip, seat your elderly guests away from the dance floor. As the evening goes on, the entertainment and the dance floor can become way too loud for them.
Sure, because I have seen and experienced where we're performing in the band, and we're trying to create that energy and get the people dancing, the guests dancing, having fun, and then you have the old uncles and aunts, that are right in front of the bandstand, and then we're too loud, and then we have to tone it down, but the younger people want to dance, so.
And then occasionally you get Uncle Joe that wants to step in and dance. But for the most part, we want to keep the elderly away from the dance floor.
Yes.
You also might want to consider a venue that doesn't charge for parking, or you might want to offer your guests a complimentary valet. And you may want to stay away from a venue that has very large ceilings, something you may not have thought about, especially ones that are marble, as this will affect the quality of the sound for the entertainment and the announcements. In an instance where you need to have your ceremony earlier in the day and your reception starts later, it's good to have your venue at a place for your guests to pre-gather and mingle. For example, a hotel, which usually has a lobby bar or a lounge. Keep in mind, though, it's best to have your reception flow in a timely manner after the ceremony.